Hey, what's up? It's Jared with State of Tech, and today we're taking a look at the LG Watch Urbane 2. This is the LTE version for AT&T. Now, I decided to go ahead and grab this watch because I wanted to get a LTE connected watch. Now, all the time I'm grabbing my cell phone and carrying it with me, and though I still do that because our phones are much more than just a phone to us, they're also cameras and all that good stuff. One of the neat things that I've been able to do with my watch here being connected using AT&T Number Sync is leave my phone in the car or in the house really quick if I need to run outside. Now I have 3 young children. I run errands and stuff like that too, and I'm at my desk running around our office and whatnot. And some of the things that I want to do, I don't want to have to take my phone with me all the time. Now, Bluetooth range is not that far. We all know that. When you have a smartwatch and a Bluetooth connected phone to that smartwatch, you can't get too far away from your phone before things start to go sideways. You either lose a connection, or maybe if you're in the middle of a call, it starts to break apart. These are obvious problems that Bluetooth has just because of distance. It's not made to be a long distance connectivity type of technology. And so with Number Sync and the LTE chip that's in the watch, I can actually leave my phone behind temporarily because there'd be no reason that I'd want to use the watch all day, but there are times where I don't want to carry around my phone, or I don't want to have to worry about my phone. Maybe the battery is low on my phone or something like that, and I can use the watch as a tool to keep myself connected should I get a phone call or a text message or something that I need to have. So as a watch, it's pretty standard. I like the actual feel and design of the watch. The rubberized band was a concern for me at first, thinking that it was going to be a little rough to wear, but it actually is pretty comfortable. I haven't had any problems with this band at all. And I've even considered taking a look at Google's Mode line of bands, because they do have a band, the 22 millimeter, which I think is the largest one they make, that would be able to fit on this watch, and then I'd be able to stylize it as I see fit. So this watch is LG. It has LG built-in fit type of functionality. So when I go for a run or a jog, I could simply just tap this button down here, and it's going to go ahead and take me right into my tracker, where I can track my runs, my stress, adjust my fitness profile, and all that good stuff. So this button is mapped to that functionality, and for me that's fine. I like quick and easy access to that. When I was on my Apple Watch, I was always having to go into the apps and sort around and try and find the fitness app and launch it. And when I've been on other Android watches, Android Wear watches, I've had to do a similar thing, go in, find the app, or try and get to that functionality so that I can start my workout. So the top here takes me straight into my contacts. Of course, I could swipe to the side and get my apps, my list of apps, and then also some of these typical built-in Android tasks that you can perform here, which are all very simple and easy to access. The center button is just kind of a return to home button, and I find that button I accidentally push often when I bring my hand up. That's just a little design issue / being right-handed and wearing my watch on my left hand. Those buttons always tend to get in the way. When I had an Apple Watch, I was always pressing the crown. In other Android watches that I've had, I've always been pressing buttons. It's just happens when I'm trying to use this watch to work out. Considering how large it is, it just makes it even easier to push those buttons just because it's a large watch. So I've really enjoyed using this watch. I've had many other Android watches and Apple Watches, and it's held up with the best of them. So I think the killer feature for me, though, is the LTE connectivity, being able to take calls when my phone is not available. So we'll go ahead and unlock this phone. I'm going to take this phone and I'm going to put it in airplane mode. So let's go ahead and put this phone in airplane mode, turn that on. So now this phone is in airplane mode and unable to accept phone calls, text messages, any of that stuff. So I'm going to unlock another phone here, and I'm going to make a call, and my watch is what is going to answer that call. And this is the feature that I think is fantastic. All right, so now we have that call coming through, and I can accept or decline the call. I can swipe up and send a text message. Can't talk right now, what's up? It's gonna go ahead and send that text message over to this device. All right, and I received the text message. So to me, that's the killer feature right there. When I have to run into the grocery store, or I need to run in somewhere and I just don't want to take my phone, or I'm carrying boxes, or I'm carrying a child or something like that, I don't have to worry about my phone being on me. I can leave my phone in the house or in the car or whatever and not have to worry about it. To me, that's the killer feature. So as a watch in general, yes, it is a little bit of a big watch. Battery life at the end of the day, if I've taken a couple of phone calls on my watch and done a few other things, maybe gone and done a workout, I have about 40% life left on my watch. So it's not a watch that you're going to be able to get away with not charging every night, but neither is pretty much any other watch as well. My experiences with the Apple Watch that I've used plenty of times for months on end, I can barely get through 2 days. Maybe if I don't use the watch much, get through 2 days. However, most cases, I'm only getting 1 day of life out of Apple Watch. Out of the Moto watches, any of the other watches, I'm only getting 1 day. So considering the fact that this one is constantly connected to LTE, is definitely a feat in and of itself that you can get through an entire day on a charge and still have some left over, even if it was a pretty active day. One of the things that I did notice with this watch is that if there is a lot of ambient noise going on around you, you're going to have issues with the microphone picking up commands. So if I do my typical OK Google command and attempt to dictate a text message or something like that, if there's a lot of background noise, I have problems. That's been kind of a consistent issue with most smartwatches. However, some are better than others. This one isn't horrible by any means. It just takes kind of getting the phone or getting the watch up closer to your face in order for it to dictate better when you're in a noisy environment. Otherwise, it works well. When I'm in my vehicle dictating to the watch or, calling out commands to the watch, it does just fine without any problems. It's been a very good performing watch. So like any other Android watch, it has lots of different watch faces you could choose from. It has customizations that are unique to this individual watch. It does have a heart rate monitor on the back that doesn't run constantly, but when you are in fitness mode, it is running constantly, tracking your heart rate. And then, of course, you can go into the Google or the LG Fit apps and have it run, kind of track your heart rate and stuff on command. So definitely neat that it has those features, although it doesn't run all day long like a couple of the other watches that are out there. So overall, and I've owned almost every Android Wear watch that's out there, overall, I would rate this one among the top, mainly because it is a solid watch. It feels good. It's comfortable to wear. I could understand maybe some small wristed people not liking this watch just because it is kind of big. But if you have a fairly, decent size arm, I think that's where this watch fits really well. Like it fits me really well. But if it had to kind of crunch down, I could see and understand people's complaints about the watch band, which is why I would suggest maybe trying one of those Google Watch bands. Those look pretty neat, and I think I may end up giving one a try. So overall, this is a great watch. I think it's one of the best watches that LG has put out, and I've owned every watch that LG has put out for Android so far, and this one's definitely the best one that they've made yet. In comparison to other watches, of course, the only other LTE connected watch right now is the Samsung Gear S2, which is its own Samsung operating system, and I think is just kind of a train wreck if you want to use your watch for more than just Samsung baked in stuff. It's a good watch by all means. It's a nice watch. I enjoyed wearing it and having that watch. However, if it comes down to wanting Android functionality, you definitely have to go with an Android Wear watch, and that's definitely what this is. Combine that with AT&T Number Sync or whatever Verizon is calling their version, it's definitely an excellent device to have. Now, people are complaining about this watch's price being right now around $350 if you buy the watch outright, which I think is pretty comparable considering you can't buy an Apple Watch for much less than that, and you can't buy most Android Wear watches for less than that either, unless you go with a really cheap or older version of a watch. So the price is decent. You do, if you're going to connect it to the LTE network, have to pay a subscription fee. For Verizon, I believe that's $5, and AT&T it's $10. Considering the fact that when you're connected, you're able to make and receive calls, send text messages, and use data all from this device without it being connected to something else, I feel that that's pretty fair. Tablets, connect to data, cost $10, and don't get to make phone calls or receive phone calls or do text messages unless you're doing them through a data network. So for me, I think the $10 is pretty fair for a connected device such as this. It is using its own phone number, although with AT&T Number Sync and Verizon's option, it's using the network to forward your phone calls and text messages to the device and vice versa. So that just like a tablet uses a phone number just to maintain that data connection, so this watch is also using that phone number simply just to provide that connection. Although you can, if you disconnect the number sync, use this as a standalone device. So if you just wanted a watch, you didn't want a phone, you just wanted a watch that can make and receive phone calls and send text messages, you can actually do that from this device without a phone. However, phone plus watch does equal a better experience. So if you're looking for an Android Wear watch that allows you to make and receive phone calls, sans phone, then I think this is probably, it is the only option available right now. But it is a great option, and I think that you could definitely say that this is a solid watch by LG and Android. So definitely check it out. Links and more information is in the description below, so make sure to check that out. If you like this video, click on subscribe or click the like button. Make sure to share it with someone else. We'd appreciate that. So thanks for checking out this video. We hope to see you next time here on State of Tech.